Sentimental FX update for the 3rd of February. I'd like to bring your attention to a core indicator that I've been using and I'll be continuing to use is the chart overlay from this address, which I recommend that you visit. It's a free indicator, and what it will do, it will tell you the candles of high volume. So we can pretty much ignore the dull grey candles because of low volume, low importance, and it brings your attention to the candles with the high volume. So we should take note of those particular candles. So the one of note on the S&P 500 was the candle above monthly pivot that propelled price up to MR1, and there hasn't been any candles of note since the volume. So we had an interesting day today. We had a nice wick below MR1, which would have been normal because we came so fast, so quick. It took a day to go from monthly pivot to MR1, so it would be rational for price to be below MR1 because of that ridiculous move. We had a dip there, and we actually are above, but we should really realistically be below monthly pivot. Not saying it's going to fall, but we should be below it just for some period of time because we just started the month and we came so far so quick in one day. It's just ludicrous, and the reason for it is that they punished the Wall Street bet guys by crushing the volatility, and in that process they showed who was boss, and that was it. And in that action, S&P rallied because the VIX got hammered down. So I'd keep an eye on 3829.23. We should be below because we came too fast too soon, and the last candle of interest was here, and all the subsequent candles have been low volume, so it's sort of a bit wishy-washy from that perspective. So I think it just got pumped. So I'm not too convinced on this rally because of the colour of the candles and they're dull. If we had this one was dark blue, then that'd be like, right, okay, so that is properly bullish, but it didn't really have the impetus. So do have a look at this website. It's a free one. And if you want to get the SLCs, then you have to pay for the pro license, but you can use my QuasiDB promo code and you get a huge discount. So have a look at this indicator. It's really cool, and especially if you're using indices and FX, it'll come in handy. I think we should have some bearish action below MR1. So yeah, have a look at that. I've did my AJ AT42, 79.83 sideways. AU 76.37, 75.50. I'm going to zip through these, so you can just pause the video if you'd like, and you can check things. Say signal center weight, for example. EA 15759, 15951. So they're going long, so we should come down. And monthly pivots here as well. So just remember to check your sentiment and the dynamic, static and the dynamic, and your technicals and your stop loss clusters. EU, you can probably guess where the stop loss cluster is below. The one above is 120.50, and the one below is 1.2, which is like really typical of the retail guys. But MS1, sorry, is 120.10, and see how we respected that. So do bear that in mind. Technically quite strong if we got that support. Below, then it's a different question altogether. So could be waiting for NFP. We are a sell at the high level, but it's close to 50-50. GU, keep an eye on 13636. That's going to be important because we've got BOE tomorrow. We could just have a little decline because of that, and it might ignore the sentiment. The fact that we're a buy at the high level, technically, if we close below 13636, we can fall and get that stop loss cluster at 13605. The one above is 13685. NU, a monthly pivot at 71.98, so we're good technically, assuming we hold up above, and check your sentiment sideways. EJ 12685, 12590. There's your monthly pivot. Broken this trend line, it's interesting, and but they're going along over time, so we should be bearish, but they need to continue, and that's the important thing, is to remember to try and guess what they're going to do. You know, normally they hold on to losses, so that should carry on, but it all depends if they reverse. So yeah, tricky one. We should maybe cross over to maybe sell, maybe tomorrow. Have to wait and see. Pound yen, it's a fairly bearish candle price action here. The 143.03 and 144.20. This will fall if GU sustains below monthly pivot. You know, they correlate quite well, those two, and so it might explain some of that price action, because even though we're a buy at the high level, it's correlated very well with the pound USD, and that's why you want to keep an eye on 13636, and it's going to help EG as well, which would be annoying for me because I'm trying to sell EG. Dollar yen 105.21. Note where I recommended that the stop is for our signal, so you might want to move it. Potentially, it is up to you. The retail guys have got their stops at 105.20, and you look at our setup, it's exactly at 105.20. So you can put your stop a little bit higher, but then you do run the risk of it taking the stop loss cluster and continuing anyway. But that 105.20 is just a logical place because of the harmonic. For reference, just check the technical channel. Technically, we were quite good for a short. We really hit overextended on the fib. So there's your trend line break. So when they're quite bearish on the time frames, apart from H4 and D1. Dollar CAD, SLC 128.81. 127.60, monthly pivot at 127.49. Dollar Swiss 90.20 and 89.64. It's quite bullish. There's your pivot, and there's MR1. So we're above MR1, so we're quite strong at the moment. MR2's up here, and there's that dynamic shifting, which makes it a buy here. So it's quite a nice move, 107 pips. Gold, SLC is 18.29 and 18.46. I think this is going to be a big mover on Friday because we actually are a big sell. And so those guys need to get punished. So we should fall, and it will punish those guys who are long. And we can't keep having the retail guys getting paid, because it's just it's not normal. In January, they seem to have got fed quite well, and so maybe it's time for them to get slaughtered, because you know they've been fed so well, they're going to be quite tender, you know, and flush with money, so they might take excessive risks and things like that. There's lots of psychology to it, but really they shouldn't be profiting on average. So 69% is quite a nice ratio for a squeeze, and so I think we should come down to get that SLC. Take your moving average trend and your signal as well. So I think NFP is going to push this, and it's going to punish the retail guys. Well, it should anyway. And we had a good week this week with signals, so I'm very happy. Next week we should be returning to normal, because January was like a funny month where they got paid, and February is like going back to normal where they get, you know, they get slaughtered, and that would just be perfectly normal, because humans err and they're stubborn, and you know they make terrible errors of judgment and things like that. So thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you do like and subscribe, it would mean a lot, because I'm only ever getting like one guy like my videos, so if you can like them, that would be great. And no worries if not. And don't forget, we've got the live feed as well, so it's worth checking into that. And I hope you have a good night or a good afternoon, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow.